Hello everyone, today I'll be going through and playing some of PACO's levels. I'll be playing through his 10-second speedrun platforming levels today. There are a total of 8, there are 2 of each style of Mario. All of them are around 1% clear rates, so they're all generally pretty easy. I'll provide a link in the description for all the levels and for PACO's profile for you to check them out. So there's actually 2 ways to do this final jump. You can either 1, jump on this shell that you see fall right down, or you can 2, just jump right for the goal, which you saw me do and fail right there. This next level is called 10 Seconds to Please PACO, SMB3. I'd say this one was a little bit easier than the previous one, but it has 1 or 2 hard parts in it. This jump between the munchers right there is pretty precise. And I definitely had the most trouble with time on this one. And I'm not quite sure if I'm doing this part right. I feel like you could maybe make it to the boot if you do like a perfect spring jump, but I just had to get up to that one platform. Next up is the SMW iteration of this series. Took me a hot second to realize you could just run left to the pipe and then run, and that would time out the munchers perfectly. And this spin jump section right here felt really good once you finally get it. My only real gripe with this level is that you're forced to keep Yoshi at the end. Next up is the final iteration of the 10 Seconds to Please PACO, the NSMB. I'd say this one was probably the easiest out of the 4 for this group of levels. I'm not a huge fan of NSMB, but I have to agree that when you set up these levels correctly, it feels really good just jumping around. So all in all, really great levels for the 10 seconds to please PACO. They're just, they're short, sweet, and he really knows how to make levels that are just challenging enough to give you a challenge, but not too challenging that they take forever to beat. And now we're on to PACO's 10-second Beetle Drop Bop levels. He followed the same type of level design as before, where he did one from each genre of Mario, with all of them being just platforming and no Kaizo. All of these are just really set up well too, and just fun to play. There's really nothing better in level design than when a level just flows perfectly. It just feels so good. Next up, we have the SMB3 version of the Beetle Drop Bop level. I actually got to see PACO make this on stream. PACO streams Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday on Twitch. I'd say I probably had the most trouble with this one out of the Beetle Drop Bop levels, but it was still halfway easy. I don't think any of these took more than 5 or 10 minutes each. Which, in my opinion, 5 to 10 minute level is usually the best length to take to have to beat one. I'd say the SMW one is probably my favorite for a couple of reasons. One, it just feels really good when you're playing it, and two, SMW is my favorite type of Mario. I was also lucky enough to get to see PACO make this one. It's a pretty cool level creation stream. And on to the final, the NSMB Beetle Drop Bop. A wise man once said a speedrun is not a speedrun unless you time out at least once. And that wise man was me. So that was the final Beetle Drop Bop level. Once again, awesome levels, just great platforming and nice tight timers. And I gotta say, if there's one thing I learned about PACO over the few months that I've watched him, it's that he loves it tight. Next up we'll be playing the Dry Bone Burn by PACO. I actually had a lot of trouble with this level for a couple of these jumps. They took a while to get used to. I had a lot of trouble jumping onto that dry bone that the cannon shoots out. Took me a while to get it. I think this level took me about 45 minutes to an hour to beat. And I think probably about half of that time was spent on this Yoshi section. I mean, I've seen PACO play this level, and he seemed to get this Yoshi jump every single time he did it, but it took me, I don't know, probably 20 tries to finally get it once. The only really great part about this was that I get to keep dropping Yoshi into the lava. Over and over and over again. As you can see here, I'm really taking my time to get this jump right. And I nail it. And I gotta say, I know it's a common gripe between basically all Mario Maker players, but I really wish they had a restart from checkpoint. And I cut a lot of this out, but this jump right here onto this dry bone, and then this next jump wrecked me so many times. this level felt good to beat since the beginning Yoshi section took me so long to do. And that is it for this video. Remember to check out PACO. He does a lot of streaming on Twitch, and he also produces a ton of content for YouTube. Just a really great content creator. And he makes some of the best levels. As always, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.